The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
It's time for a crunch or two. It's time for a little something something. It's time for the Snack Authority. The Snack Authority. The authority on snacks. Snacks of all kinds. From the most common and wildly famous to the most obscure and unknown. The Snack Authority. Snacking all the time so you don't have to.
Welcome back to the Snack Authority, guys. This is broadcasting live from the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. Our Snack Authority show for you is basically to eat the good, the bad, and the ugly alone, head-to-head battles, international, domestic, from across the universe, basically. With me is my panel of snacking experts. Hi, Dave.
Hi.
Hi, Ed.
Hi, I'm not looking forward to today.
I don't think any of us are, but we're going to do it for you.
Bad candy. I don't know if there's such a thing as bad candy. This is nostalgic candy. This is old-fashioned candy. And back in the day, and I'm an old guy, this was candy to us. This was great then.
Yeah.
They've just improved on it over the years.
Let's look at the word nostalgia. I mean, usually it means something that really wasn't that good, but it happened a long time ago, so you're over it.
The trauma kind of like eased a little bit over time.
You spent your lunch money on this, or money that was supposed to go into the church thing, and you bought these particular things.
Let's tell the people who are watching exactly what we're eating so we can have the debate between nostalgic and bad candy. We have Mary Jane's, which I think you remember is tasting great, but we're gonna see.
They're like a squirrel nut, but they're without the nuts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then we have the delicious paper tasting candy buttons.
Candy buttons, the little colored things, dabs on the button, and you
lick
bite
it
them
off paper.
You bite it off.
Yeah, what I have on those are, they can be called candy buttons, candy dots, or pocks, which I kind of like.
Or
Pox?
sadness on
Probably
paper.
like small pocks.
Like chicken pox?
They're small, rounded pegs of candy that are attached to a strip of paper.
Yeah, and they've been around a long time, I'm going to guess.
Yes. And then our third tasty, nostalgic, or bad treat are the syrup-filled wax bottles.
And I have some questions about that.
Yeah.
There are many to be had.
Well, why don't we start
in?
with some candy dots?
Oh, good.
That somehow might be the least offensive. We got to build.
And this...
So these were originally introduced by the Cumberland Valley Company and J.D. Sudak and Son of Williamsburg, Brooklyn. In 1977, Sudak changed their name to Uncle Nibble's Candy Factory.
When did this thing come out in 77?
No, this is old time. I couldn't actually find when they came out with them.
No. My whole life, they've been around in the 60s for sure.
But you know who ended up with these after that? Who owns all the bad candy in the world? Necco. Necco owned.
Oh, so maybe this is something because we live in the New England area.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Necco, New England Confectionery.
But that was later. That would have been probably the 80s when Necco got their hands on
These
it.
taste like the violet candies.
No.
They do, and they taste better than I thought they would, except for the fact that there's a layer of paper on the back of each one.
Everyone. So, you can't take it off without the paper coming off.
So, yeah, as of 19...
So you're eating the paper.
Oh, yeah.
It's fiber.
As of 1980, Necco was the exclusive manufacturer of this product in the U.S.
See which color tastes better.
Why.
See which color. You always go for the pink one, right? Why?
I do.
Well, the pink one, and this is all what they tell you, is
it's lemon.
Cherry.
The pink one is cherry?
That's what they say.
Yellow is lemon.
Yeah.
What do you
think blue is?
I really thought they were all the same, but they're not.
No.
Blue tastes like nothing.
Blue is supposed to be lime.
Well, that just makes no sense.
Well, Necco was making 750 million.
I say they're all the same.
They are not all the same.
The cherry is...
And if you blindfold yourself and I give you one and you tell me which color, all right, no looking, right?
Not looking. Clean my palate.
Okay, for those watching on camera, this is the color I just gave her. Her eyes are closed. It's in there. You can open your eyes now because it's in your mouth.
Oh, shoot, that must be blue.
Yellow.
Damn it.
All right. there's
Lemon
no way you
versus
can
lime.
tell.
Lemon versus lime.
Lemon versus lime. What do you
Lemon versus lime. It's a citrus. Knew it wasn't cherry. I can tell the difference between the Skittles, too.
You just got it wrong.
It's a citrus. It's a citrus. It tastes like paper. I got it right then.
There's 1 out of 3, and you got it wrong. Close your eyes again. I'm going to give you a different one. Just showing everybody what it is. Put it in your mouth with your eyes closed.
My eyes are shut.
You can open them now.
It's a citrus. I can't tell which one it is between the two.
It's the same one. It's yellow. It's the same one.
Well, believe it or not, Necco was making 750 million of these in the course of a year.
Individual
When you
dots?
say dots,
Or is it like a strip
Individual
of dots?
I
Okay.
think. But following Necco's bankruptcy in 2018, candy buttons were bought at auction by Dosher's Candies.
it's 45 dots to a sheet. Just in case you ever have a trivia question like that.
So these were the first former Necco candies that came back on market after Dosher's bought them.
What an unusual thing to be the first one you bring back.
Well, they sold them all separately, so a lot of it was some of the things Necco was making were harder to produce.
They probably
Right.
sell a ton of these, right?
I bet. It's just sugar.
It's sugar and paper because you cannot eat one without
Right.
paper coming off. It's impossible.
And that's what makes
I thought
it
they'd be
a
colored.
bad candy.
It is, and it's hard to believe that it's still around. And then after the company goes under, somebody says, "Well, what I have to have the ones with the dots with the paper on it. We have to have that."
Well, I guess if you can make 750 million a year and sell them, why not?
Wow.
There can't be much cost to this mess.
It's the most successful, ridiculous thing that there is in the world.
How
I was-
orderly are you? That is a beautiful thing. You just
I did a
one
whole-
missing off the second.
Well, that's because
Yeah.
it was a
Oh, no,
blind
those
That was
were-
taste
yellow.
test.
That was your second taste
Shame.
test. I wanted to make sure I tasted every one.
Well, let's see if we've got a better candy available. Wax bottles?
Wax bottles. Okay. So here's where, and there's different colors, right?
Are they different flavors?
I don't know. You'll be the judge.
We'll be
of
the
that.
judge. So I have one of each color.
Let's start with green because I like green.
Now I'm going to tell you what I do. I bite the top,
Yep.
eat it, drink it, and then I eat the rest of it.
You eat the wax?
Is that okay? I've been
Well,
doing it my whole life.
Let me tell you about the wax bottle. They're officially known as nickel nips.
Yep. I remember them being in a little cardboard thing there, like a little 6-pack. Remember wax gummy lips?
I remember
and
the wax
mouth?
lips.
Eat them too.
I don't know that I'm going to eat that.
Really?
It
Like,
says,
I'll swallow bubble gum, but I don't know.
says first bite off the top, suck out the liquid, and then chew the wax like gum.
Okay. And then eat it?
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Really?
No.
Okay, I'm going to take it out. That's what I always did. So a little.
Let's see. It says the wax is food grade and non-toxic, although it is meant to be chewed and not swallowed.
Ah. So I've been doing it wrong. All right. I did the yellow one. I mean the orange one. It tastes orange.
I can't make this happen, and I feel like it's just going to crack down the middle. It tastes like a freeze pop.
Yeah.
It tastes exactly like a freeze pop.
Yeah, I mean, the lemon is definitely lemony.
Green is definitely freeze pop lime.
Wow. Could you freeze these?
Ooh.
We should try it. It's syrup.
Can that be done?
And then remove the wax and just have a frozen bottle.
I think we can.
We can
do
try
it.
that.
Yeah. There'll be some extras.
It's still in there.
So these were created early in the 20th century. They come in a variety of fruit flavors. They were actually marketed by Tootsie Roll Industries.
To think you made delicious Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah,
And
the Nickel Nip brand name is a combination of the original cost, a nickel, and the preferred method of opening wax bottles, which is to nip or bite the top off. Well, this is
what
quite
is blue?
They, I think you nailed it on the head when you said it's a freeze pop.
It's got that specific taste,
Yeah.
but what an unusual. Oh.
Ew.
I don't like it. I don't like having to
The
spit
blue
stuff
is
out.
blue vanilla. There's there mentioned flavors to it?
What a.
I'm using it as a piece of gum.
People love when you chomp.
Do you remember those barrels with the foil top? And as a kid, you would get those like with your lunch, and you'd peel the top off and you'd drink it. That and freeze pops combined.
Do you know what you're saying? That little barrel of
yeah.
liquid? To be blue and all those colors. Same thing, right?
Very, very sweet. Not like artificial sweetener either. It's like probably corn syrup or sugar, but very almost like syrupy, viscous. Obviously, it's syrup, but oh yeah, no. I think it's interesting. I can imagine this like you put a handful in your pocket and go out and play, and then just smash it all over your leg. So.
Nobody ever made a bigger wax bottle of this.
Do you want one?
Like a 2-liter.
Yeah, a 2-liter wax bottle. Like at Christmas time or something for the kids. You get
Do it for the children.
a giant, his, between the buttons and this, things that they never did anything with it. It's just business as usual.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why don't you make a giant sheet of paper with the giant dots in the big wax 2-liter wax bottles?
Well, we just gave them the idea. Hopefully next Christmas we'll have that
Well,
option.
they've had 100 years and they haven't done a thing with it.
So you make a giant sheet and like quarter size.
But what I will say is their companies and less than 1% of companies last 100 years, and these people, they're still doing it. The wax bottles are still
Yeah.
making them. The dots are still there. We're ranking on them, but as a business, somebody must be buying them.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you want to talk about this next
yeah,
delight?
yeah.
Well, Mary Jane was, and I'm using the past tense on purpose,
The late
Yeah.
great Mary Jane.
an old-fashioned peanut butter and molasses-flavored taffy type candy.
Oh, it's not a
Taffy-type
marijuana
candy.
thing because they used to call the
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane.
No.
marijuana.
I was hoping not.
It was originally made in 1914 by the Charles N. Miller Company.
Well, I call bullshit. Or how do I say this? It's supposed to be flat, and we got a Tootsie Roll looking one.
We're getting to it.
All right.
Later made by Stark Candy Company. It was most recently manufactured by the maker of all bad things, Necco. Necco ended up with this one as well. Charles Miller named the candy after his favorite aunt, Mary Jane.
That's cute.
Oh.
And it featured the same little girl illustration on its wrapper since its inception. Necco produced Mary Jane candies in Revere, Massachusetts,
Yep.
until their 2018 bankruptcy,
I used to live there.
when Mary Jane's and the other company's candies were auctioned off, but there was no buyer for Mary Jane's.
Oh.
So these, I believe, are bootleg Mary Janes
No kidding.
made at our...
Nobody bought them.
Nobody wanted the Mary Janes.
What do you say?
These are
Want to
good.
invest in Mary Jane's? No?
I actually like these. These are good.
I find them somewhat offensive.
Wow, that is an intense statement.
Well, first off, Mary Jane has a registered button next to its word. And then Mary Jane is wearing a tube around herself.
That's her skirt.
Oh.
Maybe it's a hoop skirt.
Must be. These are bootleg Mary Janes. They taste like Mary Janes,
Well-
which Mary Janes taste like squirrel nuts without the nuts.
And Yeah, because the original Mary Jane was the same shape as the squirrel nut, kind of a flat rectangle.
I
Yeah.
remember them being harder than this. Maybe I've just only had.
And I think it may be better that these came from a local place. They were probably made recently.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember the Mary Jane bar?
I've never seen that.
There was a
You
whole
buy
bar.
a pack. You buy a pack of it. There was cardboard.
Woven between
out.
the pieces.
Yep.
Interesting. No, see, I never sought out the Mary Janes because they're disgusting.
My dad was his favorite candy was the Mary Jane.
Huh?
And wait, I may be confused. I think I'm confused. Bitter honey is what.
Oh, yeah.
Almost the same thing.
Yep.
There were a lot of things that were really close to each other. The squirrel nuts, the Mary Jane, and the
Bit of honey came in the bars, and you couldn't even bite through it hardly. You didn't know what to do with a whole bar of it.
I've only ever seen them like this.
No, originally they were in the bars. You probably remember those.
As what?
Bit of honey.
Yes.
It came in a whole bar.
With the woven thing. Space in between each bit of honey.
I thought they had a solid bar that
No.
you couldn't even bite through.
Nope. You take the thing off, and then there was a woven cardboard in between each
Maybe
square piece.
maybe I ate the cardboard. I don't know. How would you know the difference with bit of honey?
Very
Tell us how you really
sweeter than normal in the Mary Jane.
You think?
Sweeter.
I think every candy that I ate as a kid, now when I eat it, tastes sweeter. So I wouldn't be a good judge on that one. The flavor, I think, is very similar to what I remember.
Which one would you choose over these three?
Mary Jane.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well,
It's more adulty.
let me say
Well, the other
this
ones are
about
disgusting.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, the other ones are bad.
I wouldn't choose any unless I was compelled to under threat of death.
Really? You're on a
Yeah.
desert island. There's three things. You're going to eat one of them?
I mean, if I'm on a desert island, I think the sugar water might be better for preservation
Yeah?
of life. That's the only advantage
And
I
then
can
you-
see.
Chew on the wax just to feel like you're
Just
eating
to have
something.
an activity.
But you could write a note on the piece of paper and put it in a bottle and send it out and save
Into
yourself.
a wax.
Yeah.
No, that's a good idea.
There we go.
All right, so it's desert island
Yeah,
candy.
we get desert island snacks. I don't know what you do with the Mary Jane. Just sit there and enjoy it.
You can
while
patch holes.
We get so distracted, I haven't even done any news. So let me-
Yeah, save news for another time. Do we
yeah,
need news.
the news will keep. None of this is, it's just more of the same.
All right. Somebody buy Mary Jane's for God help us, please. Somebody buy it.
Well, we may be better off with the bootleg because it does seem fresher, right? It wasn't as hard
Yes.
as the Mary Jane
Yeah.
usually is. So
Yeah, because they sit around for a long time and don't sell, apparently, because no one's buying the company.
no one wants
It's not
them.
like
Nobody
these
has the love.
these candy buttons that are going crazy. The wax bottles, holy God.
Yeah, I mean, all right, let's say I was at my great-great-grandmother's house or something, and these were the three offerings,
Yes.
and I was very hungry.
Yeah.
All right, I'd go with the Mary Jane.
All right, Mary Jane wins. How do you like that? So those
don't
that are
like
thinking
it.
about buying Mary Jane Candy Company, buy it because
It's the least offensive.
it's the least offensive. There you go.
If you guys ever have an idea of a snack we should dig into, an idea of anything to pair against each other, please contact us at thesnackauthority@gmail.com. Please let your snack eating friends know about us. Share us, subscribe to us, give us a 5-star rating. For Dave, Ed, and myself and our bad snacks, have a wonderful, good snacking week.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.